Hello everybody, it is April 28th. Welcome to our language arts lesson, Investigating the Past, Unit 7. Find this book, make sure you have it ready so that we can start our learning. Okay, today we are going to look at shared reads 3 and 4, which are on pages 12 and 13 of your Investigating the Past shared reading book. We are going to read pretty quickly through the shared reads today. It's going to be a pretty short lesson, only because I know the math lesson was a little bit longer today. So I want to make sure that you're balancing your time and taking care of yourself. So I want to keep the video for today pretty short for language arts. So we're going to do a quick read of this text, A Gift to America. We're going to look for a couple of details from the text just to practice our finding important information in a text. And then we're going to read the poem in the British Museum. And as we're reading in the British Museum, we are looking for words that are rhyming words. And we're going to be circling those rhyming words. So starting with A Gift to America, listen and follow along as the text is read.
Shared reads 3 and 4. Remember to annotate as you read.
A Gift to America. On July 4th, 1884, France gave the Statue of Liberty to America. It was a birthday gift. The idea for this statue came from a dinner party in Paris, 1865. As people discussed democracy, they wanted to honor America. A sculptor planned a woman for the statue. The woman would hold a torch to represent the freedom of democracy. Today, Lady Liberty stands guard over New York Harbor. She continues to light the doorway to America, welcoming people to her shore.
Okay, so that was our quick read. Go ahead and read the text one more time, paragraphs 1, 2, and 3. When you're done reading, we will continue with answering a couple of questions. One, we will look for an answer together and underline information from the text to find it. And the other, you're going to answer on your own. I'll pause the video. Okay, now we're going to look at paragraph 1, and I want you to see if you can find who gave the Statue of Liberty to America. Go back and reread paragraph 1 and see if you can find who. If you're reading carefully, you can see that it says on July 4th, 1884, France gave the Statue of Liberty to America. We're going to underline the detail, France. If you found the same detail, great job. Next, I want you to go back and explain why France gave the Statue of Liberty, go back and find why Statue of Liberty was given to America from France. Reading paragraph 1, just paragraph 1, find out why did France give America a gift. Looking at paragraph 1, it says it was a birthday gift. Did you underline that it was a birthday gift? Great job. Now we're going to find some more information from paragraph 2. In paragraph 2, we're going to find the question is, how did the artist show the idea of freedom? The artist in this text is a sculptor. That's someone who makes statues. The sculptor made this. That's the kind of artist that she is. How did she show the idea of freedom? What does the Statue of Liberty have that shows freedom? Well, if you're reading carefully, it says the woman would hold a torch to represent the freedom of democracy. So the word represent, I'm going to double underline it. The word represent is another word for to show, and we've used that word before. So hopefully you remembered when you see the word represent, that means to show something. She uses the torch to show democracy. Make sure you have those details underlined. For our last question, looking at paragraph 3, how do we look at the Statue of Liberty today? Like, what is its purpose today? So looking at paragraph 3, what do we use the Statue of Liberty for? Let's reread paragraph 3 and see if we can find that detail. It says, today, Lady Liberty stands guard over New York Harbor. That's kind of confusing because it's not a weapon and it's not a soldier, so how does she stand guard? I wonder what they mean by that. She continues to light the doorway to America, welcoming people to her shore. Well, New York Harbor is a place where a lot of immigrant people came over time. They came through an island called Ellis Island. This is something you probably haven't learned before. And when they came through Ellis Island, they came, and one of the first things that they would see in the New York Harbor would be the Statue of Liberty. So they used the Statue of Liberty as a symbol that welcomes people to her shore, meaning the United States. So that is one way that the Statue of Liberty is used today. It's also a really great tourist destination, and lots of people every year go and visit the Statue of Liberty. So, one last question for you to answer as you finish up this section of the text. What I'd like you to do is go back and read this text one more time, and then in the notes section, you're going to write down 3 things you learned about the Statue of Liberty. So your directions are to write 3 things you have 3 things you have learned about the Statue of Liberty. You're going to write this in a list, and you can take a picture and send it to me. Go ahead and pause the video after I finish writing this, and you're going to write down 3 things you learned from this text about the Statue of Liberty. All right, I don't know how to number. Take a moment, write down those 3 things you learned. Make sure you pause the video so that you have time to write, and use the notes section to write that down. You can focus your efforts by looking in each paragraph and finding one thing you learned from each paragraph and writing it down. Hopefully by now you have written down the 3 things you learned about A Gift to America on the left side of your text. Now we're going to move on to page 13, and we're going to read on the right side of our text on page 13 this poem called In the British Museum. This is going to be a rhyming poem. So our goal is to listen for words that rhyme, and we're going to make a list on the notes page on the right-hand side of words that we find that rhyme. We're also going to circle those in the text as we find them. So listen carefully as we read aloud In the British Museum.
In the British Museum by Felix Lee. If you want to see all sorts of wonderful things, stuffed crocodiles, mammoths, and sloths, hairy ducks with 4 feet, and fishes with wings, fat beetles and strange spotted moths, and enormous winged bulls with long beards carved in stone, dug up from Assyria's sand, and old blackened mummies as dry as a bone, discovered in Egypt's lone land, and beautiful statues from Greece and from Rome, and other fine things without end, you will find you can see half the world here at home, if a day in this place you will spend.
Okay, so that was our poem. Let's go back to the first stanza of the poem. That's the section of text you can see separated by a space. This is a stanza of a poem. It's a set of lines. Let's read it again. It says, if you want to see all sorts of wonderful things, stuffed crocodiles, mammoths, and sloths, hairy ducks with 4 feet and fishes with wings, fat beetles and strange spotted moths. So we're looking for rhymes at the end of the text, at the end of the line. And the formatting on this is a little bit confusing because it looks like the end of the line is right here with the of, but actually if you see it, it comes down here and it's at the word things. So looking at the last word things, can you find another word in this text that rhymes with things? Well, if you read down carefully, it says hairy ducks with 4 feet and fishes with wings. The word wings and things are rhyming words, so I've circled them both. And then the next step that I'm going to take is I'm going to write them in my notes over here. So I'm looking for rhyming words, and I'm going to write wings and things are rhyming words. And they are rhyming words because of the ing sound at the end. They both have I-N-G-S. That's what makes them rhyming words. Reading the next line, it says stuffed crocodiles, mammoths, and sloths. Our last word in this line is sloths. Let's see if we can find a rhyming word for the word sloths. I'm going to start by circling sloths. And we're going to keep reading. Hairy ducks with 4 feet and fishes with wings. Do we have a word that rhymes with sloths yet? Not yet. Fat beetles and strange spotted moths. Oh, I found one here. Sloths and moths. So sloths and moths are rhyming words. So I'm going to go over back to my notes. And in my notes, I'm going to write sloths and moths are my 2 rhyming pairs. You're going to read the rest of the text, and I want you to see if you can find rhyming pairs in the rest of the poem on your own. That's going to be it for today's language arts lesson. After you've found your rhyming words and you've answered the question for page 12, tomorrow we'll be looking at primary sources. Read about primary sources, which starts on page 14. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Keep on learning.